Dear students, now we are going to discuss plant physiology introduction part, and after that, introduction in the case of first chapter, that is transport in plants. So before moving into plant physiology introduction part, we should know what are the chapters we should come across and we should study. What are they, and what about the weightage of each and every chapter for NEET examination, and what about overall weightage of a plant physiology for NEET. So first chapter is transport in plants. Transport in plants, its weightage is 2 bits. 1 or 2, it's little bit variable. And second one, mineral nutrition. Nutrition in plants. Mineral nutrition, 1 or 2 bits. Third one, enzymes. Enzymes. 2 bits. Fourth one, photosynthesis in higher plants. Photosynthesis in higher plants, 1 bit. Respiration in plants. Respiration in plants, 1 or 2 bits. Here I'm taking 1 bit. Sometimes they are asking 2 bits also. Sixth one, plant growth and development. Plant growth and development. Phytohormones, 3 bits. So overall 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 bits. So roughly they are asking 8 to 11 or 12 bits. So roughly they're giving 9 to 10 or 12 bits. That is the weightage of plant physiology for NEET examination. Right? Next, now, what about the introduction part of plant physiology? So in the first paragraph, first page, what about the given one? Our research work, study of plants, study of organisms. So that study is related to structure of the organism, means various parts. What about the morphology of that part? And what about variations present in parts of a flowering plant or any organism? So our exploration or study of organisms, what about the method of study? So study of organisms. Study of organisms. That study is concerned with the study of structure and variations. Variations of various plant parts, animal parts, of organisms. So our way of study, that is a study of a structure, maybe morphology, number of kinds of cells, like that. So this way of study resulted in two aspects, resulted in two perspectives, two aspects, irreconcilable, means quite opposite to each other. One at a organism level. So this way of study resulted in or based on two aspects. What are the first one is first work, means working on a plant or animal is related to study of organism, study of organism and organization level, organization level, organization level, study of organisms and levels of organization, means what are the parts and what about functions of various parts, morphology of parts, particularly morphology, structural analysis. So that was concerned with the study of organisms and levels of organization. That was one aspect. Second aspect was study of organism at a molecular level, functional level, study of organisms at molecular level, molecular level of study. Okay, what are the activities which are taking place inside the cell also? Okay, so this is one aspect, this one is another aspect. This is a basic one, structural analysis one, and this one is a functional aspect. So first one, just study of morphology. Second one, function. What about the function performed by that plant or cell or tissue? So these two are irreconcilable perspectives. Contrasting or not, this one is just a morphology only. This one is a function. So this one is concerned with the functional level of study. Functional level of study. So these two aspects resulted in the development of various branches of science. So this aspect resulted in, and this aspect of study. On the base of aspect of study, we created certain number of branches. So here's a perspective or aspect, means criteria simple. So this is a perspective or aspect simply. Perspective 1 and 2, these two are contrasting and resulted in what are the branches? They emerged out of studying organisms like this. So first one, he is concerned with you can use morphology. Morphology. Actually, in inside textbook or Telugu Academy textbook, the given one is plant ecology. Ecology was given. Not only ecology, but ecology was given. Ecology, morphology, taxonomy. Okay, morphology, ecology, and the unit of life also some extent. That is also structural based. And a molecular level of study resulted in plant physiology. In this case, I am taking plant physiology. Plant physiology or normal physiology or human physiology, animal physiology. Plant physiology. That is nothing but biochemistry. Separately given biochemistry. Biochemistry. And molecular biology also. Biotechnology also. So this is the way of study and bifurcation of aspects. According to that, we developed certain number of branches. So here we are going to study functional level, cellular level within the cell. So in first year part, in first year we completed this part, and in second year we are going to complete and completing this part. Before this one, we completed a molecular basis of inheritance, biotechnology. Okay, strategies for enhancement in food production, functional level or not. So this one in the case of a second year. Okay, so cellular level, functional level, what are the dynamic functions? What are the vital activities which are taking place in the cell by means of which the living state of an organism will be continued, right? So in this chapter, we are going to study about so-called chapters in plant physiology, transport in plants, mineral nutrition, so-called chapters. What are they one by one? So first chapter is transport in plants. Now, transport in plants. And before moving into transport in plants, we have to study about the contributions of Melvin, Calvin, or Kelvin. What about contributions of a scientist? So contributions of a scientist. Contributions of Melvin, Calvin. Okay. Contributions of Melvin, Calvin. So here particularly contributions of Melvin, particularly related to photosynthesis, anabolic mechanism, anabolism, right? So in plant physiology, maximum things we are going to learn about anabolic and catabolic reactions. So what about the contributions of Melvin, Calvin? During Second World War, what type of bombs and missiles and explosive materials used by countries? Definitely nuclear weapons. Nuclear weapons. So Hiroshima and Nagasaki almost damaged, destroyed by nuclear weapons, nuclear bombings. So after that Second World War, most of the scientists realized that how to utilize these nuclear means radioactive isotopes, how to utilize the power of radioactive isotopes to study or to utilize them human welfare. Out of all these scientists, the first one was Melvin Calvin. So Melvin Calvin thought that how to utilize radioactivity in studying metabolic reactions. Okay, so what about now contributions of Melvin Calvin? So in photosynthesis, two reactions are present. We can divide photosynthetic mechanism into two parts. That is well known to you. First one is a light reaction and second one is a dark reaction. Okay, so what about the main focus of Melvin Calvin? Along with Melvin Calvin, others also worked. Barsham and Johnson. Barsham and Johnson also. Not only Kelvin. Kelvin was the foreman of that group. Melvin Calvin, Barsham and Benson. So they worked on So these people worked on carbon assimilation. Carbon assimilation. Carbon assimilation means reduction of C of CO2 into carbohydrate. A reduction of C, carbon, C of CO2 into carbohydrates, that is glucose. Carbohydrates. Okay, carbohydrates. Synthesis of carbohydrates means definitely that is a dark reaction. But compulsory to reduce a C of CO2 into carbohydrate. Assimilatory power, reducing power required or not? Definitely required. If you go back to 10th class, photolysis of water, synthesis of ATP, NADP, HH plus assimilatory power utilized to reduce C of CO2 into carbohydrate. So they worked on carbon assimilation pathway, how carbon is reduced into glucose molecule or carbohydrate. So they focused on dark reaction. Okay. So by studying carbon assimilation, and they prepared a flow chart that is a C3 cycle, means a carbon reduction pathway. What they traced out, carbon, what they prepared, carbon reduction or assimilation pathway, metabolic pathway. If you go back to living state, it was given there. Metabolic pathways, metabolic reactions are linked reactions, a chain of reactions, either linear reactions or cyclic reactions. Linear means a straight. For example, glycolysis in respiration, glucose into pyruvic acid, that is a linear reaction. So carbon reduction pathway. What type of a carbon reduction pathway? C3 cycle or C3 pathway. We'll study what about a C3. What is C3? We'll study. Wait. Carbon reduction pathway. So they prepared a flow chart of a carbon metabolism, means a carbon reduction, assimilation. Here assimilation means carbon is reduced into carbohydrate. So how C of CO2 is reduced into carbohydrate? If you go back to entire photosynthetic equation, 6CO2 plus 12H2O, sunlight, chlorophyll gives rise one glucose molecule, gives rise one glucose molecule plus 6H2O, 6O2. In that reaction, 6CO2 reduced into one glucose molecule. Their 12 H2O molecules photolyzed. It looks like a single reaction, but according to Melvin and Kelvin flowchart, many reactions are present. And all these are taking place in a cyclic manner, hence the name cyclic pathway, carbon pathway. Now, what about the experiment? What they did? Experiment of these people, what they selected. In that experiment, what they used? First one, chlorella. Chlorella. Go back to algae, chlorella. Chlorella is unicellular eukaryotic photosynthetic, means able to photoautotroph, photosynthetic grass green algal member. unicellular. According to Whittaker, chlorella is a protyston, but in general, it is an algal member. Alga, eukaryote, unicellular, with oxygenic photosynthesis. Oxygen is involved. So they selected this plant as an experimental material to prepare a C3 cycle. Unicellular, eukaryote, chlorella. Right? Next. Second one, radioactive isotope. Radioactive isotope. Okay, this is a tracer element. Tracer element. Tracer element means not small one. Trace out, combing out, able to locate. We can trace out, we can locate some biomolecule, whatever it is, with the help of a radioactive isotope. So tracer molecule means radioactive isotope with the help of which we are able to understand metabolic pathways. We can study them, we can trace out them, we can locate them, hence the name tracer element. So what type of tracer element they used? That is C14 radioactive isotope, or simply 14 CO2. Only carbon was that was with a radioactivity. Okay, right? And what they did, for example, this is a chlorella. Take chlorella here. So this is a chlorella. A culture of chlorella, certain number of chlorella, not only one, many chlorella. Chlorella was supplied with, given with sunlight, energy, solar, sunlight, irradiated with, supplied with the sunlight, energy, source of energy, sunlight. Next, H2O, and required minerals also, minerals, various types of minerals, required minerals, plus very, very important thing, given with or supplied with 14 CO2 radioactive isotope and other required components, inorganic or organic. So this one is very, very important. Okay, so chlorella supplied with all these things, photosynthesis completed. So chlorella. Photosynthesis, both light reaction and dark reaction. Now all these chlorella subjected to kill. Chlorella, all chlorella killed. And sap, extracted sap. They extracted sap, particularly cytoplasmic components. Okay, and they transferred all these components into a test tube. You can take an acid soluble fraction also. So they collected a crushed material of chlorella. Okay, and introduced chromatographic paper. Chromatographic paper chromatography. Okay, so they're in solvent, some solvent, whatever the solvent. So now a number of chemicals traveled along the so-called paper. A number of chemicals accumulated, right? So now they took this one out. That is with a number of chemicals. And from that, They took a film, auto radiography film. They developed a film. A film was developed. Auto radiography film. Auto radiography film. A film was prepared. What is that film? That film was a auto radiography film graph that shows location of a so-called 14C containing compounds. For example, this one, this one, this one. So many chemicals are there. Out of all these, this one, for example, this one, certain number. So all these rounded red one with a 14C, with the help of a technique, that is auto radiography technique, they traced out, they isolated so-called compounds, and in all those compounds, with the help of this film, they isolated these compounds from here, from here, from here, from here, with the help of that film, and they analyzed all these intermediate compounds and end products. In all these compounds, what they traced out, the presence of 14C. 14C. So with the help of all these compounds, they prepared a flow chart. What is that flow chart? A cycle. That cycle is C3 cycle. C3 cycle. So CO2 is reduced into glucose molecule. In glucose also it was present. We'll study that C3 cycle under the heading photosynthesis. So the main contribution of Melvin, Calvin, Basham and Benson was preparation of flow chart of reduction of C of CO2 into carbohydrate with the help of this experiment, chlorella experiment. So the main contribution of Melvin, Calvin was, that is a C3 cycle. In addition to that, what he studied? What about the next contribution? What he proposed, what he explained after studying this one? He proposed that. He proposed that what he proposed, green plants are photoautotropes. According to his knowledge, photoautotropes. Proposed that green plants are photoautotropes. Here I'm taking green plants. Green plants. Okay, so green plants are able to convert. So in the mechanism of photosynthesis, first reaction is a light reaction. Light reaction. So during light reaction, green plants, chlorophyll molecule, chlorophyll A and other pigments. During light reaction, light energy, according to his knowledge, light or radiant energy, sunlight, radiant energy, physical energy, physical factor. So plants are able to convert this physical energy, the source of, ultimate source of energy on this earth. On this earth is a sunlight. Okay, so green plants, with the help of chlorophyll, that chlorophyll is able to convert. Chlorophyll able to convert this energy into chemical energy. Synthesis of chemical energy. That chemical energy is ATP, only ATP, or ATP plus NADPH H plus. So this is a chemical energy. Chemical energy. This energy is also called as assimilatory power. Assimilatory power or reducing power. Able to reduce C of CO2 into carbohydrate. Okay, so green plants are able to convert this energy into this energy by means of, with the help of electrons, by the transportation of electrons, by the transfer of electrons from one pigment to another pigment, one electron carrier to other electron carrier. So chlorophyll molecules are able to transfer electrons from one compound to other compound. Array of pigments, array of compounds, electron carriers. So with the help of electron carriers, they are able to convert light energy into chemical energy. So with the help of this energy is concerned with reduction of C of CO2. This is concerned with reduction of carbon dioxide, raw material, CO2 into carbohydrates. Carbohydrates. So main focus on dark reaction. In addition to that, he proposed that during light reaction, green plants or organisms with chlorophyll are able to convert light energy into chemical energy with the help of or by transferring electrons from pigment to pigment with the help of a number of electron carriers. So that is about contributions of Melvin Colvin. So what about other applications out of the proposal of Melvin Colvin? Nowadays, we are using the concepts of Melvin Colvin. What about the utilization of concepts of Melvin Colvin? Nowadays, we are using the concept. What is the concept? See here. Chlorophyll is able to harvest sunlight and able to convert light into chemical energy, physical energy into chemical energy. So on the base of this, nowadays, we are studying one, that is, we are focusing on various materials. Wait. Okay, so with the help of this basic information, we started working on renewable energy sources. What are the materials for renewable energy? And second one, very, very important one, harvesting of sunlight by solar panels. Solar panels. Nowadays, solar energy. Solar energy harvesting system. So particularly this one, solar energy harvesting system, solar energy depends on the basic principle of conversion of light into chemical energy. Okay, so here in this case, sunlight is converted into electrical energy. Sunlight into electrical energy or heat energy also. But here it is a chemical energy. So that is about contributions of Melvin Kelvin, right? Next. Now, what about introduction part for transport in plants? So if you go back to first year part, that is parts of a flowering plant. Here I'm taking flowering plant. This is soil surface. And here I'm taking taproot system. And you may take a fibrous root system also. So soil is harboring a number of organic and inorganic components. They're well known to you. Okay, so a number of organic and inorganic components. In the soil, organic, inorganic components and organisms also. Microbes, various gases also. So particularly here root system is concerned with absorption of inorganic nutrients. Water also. Water and inorganic nutrients. So here transport in plants. While studying the mechanism of transport in plants, we should know what are the materials, what are the materials required for various activities in the plant. Means what type of materials are required. So here water required, minerals required, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, potassium, calcium, zinc, boron. So a number of, and phytohormones also. So here transport mechanism is required for the transportation of all these materials. So initially I'm taking here soil. Inside the soil, all these materials are available. So root is concerned with here function. What about the main function? Absorption of water and inorganic nutrients. What are the inorganic nutrients? Minerals. Inorganic nutrients, particularly minerals. Potassium, calcium, zinc, boron, like that. Right? So whatever the material absorbed by the root is transported into aerial shoot system. For example, this is a leaf. So according to this flow chart, what about the direction of movement of materials from root to shoot system? Okay, so this is against gravitational force. Against gravity or not? Against gravitational force from soil to shoot apex. Water, minerals are required for various metabolic activities. So this transport is against gravity. Against gravitational force. So if it is against gravitational force, definitely what about the means of transport? What type of mechanism is involved? Energy involved or not? Is it passive or active? So here movement is, for example, water and minerals are absorbed by the root system. So to understand transport in plants, knowledge in cell structure is mandated. Knowledge in cell structure, already we studied under the heading cell biology, the unit of life. And second one, knowledge in anatomy is mandated. If you take a plant cell, for example, this is a plant cell. Here I'm taking plant cell. What are the various zones and boundaries present in a plant cell? So this one is a cell wall, plasma membrane, protoplasm, vacuole, nucleus. Okay, so here movement is across the cell wall, membrane, and distributed along the length of the cell. into the nucleus and other areas, from cell to tissues also. Okay, so here root air is concerned with absorption of water and minerals. That is epidermal in origin. Epidermal in origin. And a number of tissues are there. That may be parenchyma or collenchyma or sclerenchyma, xylem and phloem. What type of tissues are concerned with transportation of these materials? So to understand transport in plants, compulsory knowledge in cell structure plus anatomy also. Anatomy knowledge also required. Come back. So from root to shoot, cell to cell, tissue to tissue, organ to organ. And that is against the gravitational force. Okay, right? Next. From the green part, definitely food is synthesized within the green region and that is transported towards down or not. So this is according to gravity. According to gravity from down. So this is a uphill transport. Uphill. This one is a down or not usually. Down transport. So here I'm showing two directions from soil to shoot apex to down. So various materials are there. Okay, that may be water, inorganic nutrients, organic nutrients, food material, phytohormones also. So here transportation mechanism, definitely transportation mechanism is required. Is there any circulatory system? There is no circulatory system. Whereas in the case of animals, circulatory system is present. Heart is able to pump blood to various parts of the plant body or not. Through the veins and so-called tubes are present. So in animals, almost all vertebrates, particularly, so-called circulatory system is present. But in plants, where is the circulatory system? There is no circulatory system, but they are able to transport various materials from here to here. For example, the height of this plant is, for example, 100 meters, for example, only 100 or 120 meters, whatever, overall taller than human beings or animals, 100 meters. So here in plants, the transport distance is more than the transport distance in the case of animals. So they have to transport materials up to 100 meters or more than that. Unlike animals are not, in which, what about the transportation in the case of any human beings? Up to 6 feet or 7 or 8 or 9 feet. But in this case, several meters. Okay, but without a so-called circulatory system, they are able to transport. Here we can divide transport mechanisms into two categories. One is a short distance transport. Short distance transport. What is this? Short distance transport, cell to cell, tissue to tissue, or organ to organ, up to certain extent only, not up to the tip part. So short distance transport takes place by means of, so this one is achieved or accomplished. It is accomplished by diffusion, simple diffusion or facilitated diffusion. We will see what are the diffusions. Diffusion, simple and facilitated diffusions. Simple and facilitated diffusions. Passive transport, metabolic energy is not required. Okay, so it is achieved by means of diffusion. Next, and also cytoplasmic streaming moment of cytoplasm, simply cytoplasmic streaming movement assisted by energy, active transport. Active transport means ATP is consumed, ATP utilized, active transport. And this one is a passive transport. Passive means no metabolic energy. Passive transport, no ATP required, no metabolic energy or some other energy. So short distance is accomplished by simple diffusion, facilitated diffusion, or cytoplasmic streaming movement. So cytoplasmic streaming movement is assisted by ATP molecule. Active transport. Passive transport means without the consumption of metabolic energy or some other energy. So during passive transport, energy is not consumed. Active transport, energy is consumed. So cytoplasmic streaming movement is an active transport. Energy is required. So that is about a short distance transport. Next, second one, long distance transport. Definitely, long distance transport is through specialized tissues. Long distance means from root, from here onwards, up to the tip of the shoot system. So transportation of materials, whatever it is, transport of materials, whatever the material, we'll see what are those materials. Materials by vascular tissue system. Vascular tissue system means xylem and phloem. Xylem and phloem. Okay, so that is nothing but long distance transport from root to shoot or shoot to root. Xylem is concerned with the transportation of water, minerals, and a trace amount of phytohormones also to the root system. Next, phloem is concerned with transportation of the end product of, that is glucose, for example, sucrose, transportation of sucrose, carbohydrate. Phloem is concerned with the transportation of carbohydrates, phytohormones, and to some extent inorganic nutrients, inorganic materials. So this one is called as a translocation. Translocation. Right? That is a translocation. Is it clear? So that may be short distance transport, long distance transport. Okay, so these are next. What are the materials and what about the direction of movement of materials? We will see that one in the next class. What are the materials? What about the direction of movement? What about the direction of movement of materials? Unidirectional or bidirectional? We'll see that one tomorrow. Okay, wait.